Hi, it's Dr. Hood. I want to talk about fried foods and whether fried foods are actually bad for you. There is evidence from correlative studies that people who eat large amounts of fried foods have an increased risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. And there's also evidence that close proximity to takeaway restaurants or takeaway joints is associated with, again, an increased risk of these diseases: obesity, diabetes, heart disease. Often these takeaway places will serve a lot of fried foods. The question is, are fried foods bad for you? And there are two components to this. The reason these studies show an association is often people are eating foods that are fried in the wrong fats, and they're eating the wrong foods. So foods that are more likely to be very calorie dense, rich in processed carbohydrates, and high glycemic index that will stimulate fat storage, and also eating the wrong fats that are associated with inflammation, which causes diseases and also will promote obesity, make you fat. So what kind of fried foods can you eat that will help you to control your weight, allow you to control your weight to get lean, and still maximize your ability to maintain your good health? Because you want to be able to lose weight and still not compromise your health. And there are two components, as I said. So let's deal with the first one, which is what you're frying with. Let's deal with the first component, which is what you're frying with. And essentially, you need to be frying with the good fats that are stable. So fats that are rich in saturated and monounsaturated fats are very stable at high temperatures. What frying actually does, just out of for purposes of interest, is when it's heated to very high temperatures, it seals the outside of the food, preventing any further oil entering the food, and then it increases the temperature of the food, and it's cooked via sort of steaming inside. So you end up with a crispy, crunchy outside and a soft inside. Think about fries, think about coated fried chicken. And that adds to texture and taste and so on. So what you're doing is heating these fats at high temperatures, and the stable ones are the ones rich in monounsaturated and saturated fats. So the most stable of these are coconut oil. Coconut oil, it's obviously solid in room temperature. You heat it, and you can heat it to very high temperatures. It doesn't smoke, it doesn't burn, it doesn't create potentially toxic compounds, which I'll talk about shortly. And then similarly, animal fats that you find, for example, beef dripping, lard, and other fats that you get from lamb and chicken, heated to high temperatures, are very stable. And then, so you can choose between, for example, having beef dripping, which has a savoury taste, or coconut oil, which has a more sweet taste, to cook the foods that you want to cook, and can be heated to high temperatures without producing toxic compounds. And then if you want dairy, what you want to use is ghee, which is clarified butter. You can't really cook it to high temperatures with butter because it has protein in it that burns. Clarified butter or ghee is essentially butter without the protein, and again, that can be cooked to high temperatures. That will give you a different kind of savoury taste. The fats that you want to be avoiding are the processed vegetable oils. So your canola oil, your rapeseed oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil. These are seed-based oils, are highly processed, that are hydrogenated to keep them liquid at room temperatures. Or you have your margarine, which again, very artificial oil. These are rich in polyunsaturated fats, and when these are heated, these let off these toxic compounds such as your hydroperoxides, your aldehydes, and also there's evidence of an increased presence of trans fats when these vegetable oils are heated. And these trans fats, which are already present in unnatural levels in these oils, are increased when heated, and they are associated with increased risk of heart disease and increased risk of cancer. And they were banned in high levels in the last 10 to 15 years and reduced in our diet, but they're still present in naturally high levels in these vegetable oils. So you want to stick to the stable fats, avoid the unstable fats. And then when it comes to what you fry, obviously if you're frying eggs, if you're frying chicken, if you're frying meat, if you're frying non-starchy vegetables in these healthy fats, then that's okay. If you're frying, starchy potatoes, like fries, grain-based foods such as coating, like nuggets or fried chicken, then that's going to obviously compromise your ability to take control of your weight and also take control of your health, because you're feeding yourself these nutrient-poor, starchy and grain-based foods. So you want to stick to having fried healthy foods, your healthy protein, non-starchy vegetables, and avoid the less healthy ones, except as a treat. Now, obviously, if you're basing all your foods around fried foods, even if they are the healthy fats and the healthy fried foods, you're still going to have too many fats in your diet, and that's going to compromise to an extent your ability to lose weight and stay lean. So you don't want to base your whole diet around fried foods, but it's okay to include them, again, in moderation, compared to having more animal protein cooked in other ways, starchy vegetables cooked in other ways, let's say lightly fried rather than deep fried. Because if you have too much fat, even the good fat, then your body is then working on burning that fat rather than the fat in your body. So it's all about priorities, all about the right balance. It's all about minimizing the bad fats and the foods that are less nutrient dense, maximizing the more nutrient dense foods, and then in between including some healthy fried foods, fried in the right vegetable oils. And I think with it's a learning process, and when you understand the principles and you make all these changes to the way that you eat and the way you approach food, that's how you end up eating the right fried foods in the right moderation, correcting your metabolism, getting lean and staying lean.